How's it going, everyone? It's Johnny Beard here with a Streamer Stories podcast episode, and I've got another guest for you lined up, and it is the one, the only, DrewKnightmare. Here he is. There
Hello.
he is. Let's go.
What's going on? How's things?
Things are good, bud. How are you doing? How are things with you?
I'm back on the internet.
That's surely got to be only positive good things.
Yes, of course. Of course.
Well,
how are you?
I'm well, man. I'm well. I'm also on the internet and debating my questionable decisions as well. So, yeah.
I do that on a 24/7 basis.
Oh, God. You know what? I was just trying to think about this before, Drew. I don't know how long we've known each other now. Like, did we find each other before one of the Daffleys? Or was it during a Daffley?
Yeah, definitely before. I've known of you. Ooh, I remember when you had, well, not this setup. You had cats behind you.
Yeah.
Like a cat tower. Like this is OG Johnny Beard days. It was a lot more janky back then as well.
Yeah.
But it was more jankier than when it was the janky Johnny Beard. It was the OG janky before it went to janky to now not so janky.
I think my jankiness ebbs and flows, isn't it? So, but those were the janky days.
Roller coaster of jank.
Yeah, absolutely. But like, we have known each other for a few years now. I think you're wonderful. I've lived your journey from afar. Again, when you were streaming, obviously a different type of content to what you do now, and I've lived the phases you've gone through in terms of your streaming career. But I can't wait to talk about that with you. But obviously, I know who you are. So, would you like to introduce yourself to people who may not know who you are?
Of course, I would love to. My name is Drew, aka DrewKnightmare, on the wonderful platform of Twitch. I am a pro wrestling content creator, but we don't just play wrestling games on my channel. We also play a variety of games, really. Horror, story-based games. We've been playing a lot of Clear Obscure, which I've been loving. Still on Act 2, so no spoilers, please. We're going to get round to that at some point. And hopefully in October, when I come back to the world of streaming, which we might get into a little bit later, I'll be starting my journey through Silent Hill F, which I'm really excited for.
Wow. We're spoiled. I thought we were spoiled before, but that's what a return that's going to be. I can't wait to see it. Let's go. God damn. Okay. You know what? I just want to say goodbye to the podcast and just talk to you about Silent Hill, but no, let's not. Let's talk about childhood then, if we may, because I'd love to know more. I want to talk about games you played as a kid. Like, what's your first memories of seeing a video game? Never mind playing it.
So my first memory of video games, I think the first video game console I ever played, in terms of seeing a console, was the Sega Mega Drive. I remember my father one day bringing down this dusty old brick from the attic, and I'm like, what is that? And my dad was like, this is a video game. And I'm like, what is that? And he got these cartridges out. I believe it was like Golf something.
No.
It was like a golf game. And I think there was like a DC versus Street Fighter game or something along those lines. DC versus Capcom, I don't know, but it had Batman in it and Superman and all that, but like other characters from somewhere I didn't really recognize, and that was my first sort of seeing a video game and kind of playing a video game when I was a kid, and I was obsessed with it for about a week until it broke.
No. Oh, that's the sad part of it. Oh, that's so heartbreaking. No. I don't think I can recover from that. That's so sad.
To be fair, it was living in an attic full of dust. So I mean,
yeah.
I don't know how much that dust would have saved that console. To be honest, I think it was up there for a while.
God damn. So when Dad brought it down, you're like, Father, what is this fossil?
What is this relic?
I've seen this in my dinosaur books.
Yeah.
Oh my
Well,
god.
to me, my dinosaur books was the Guinness Book of World Records, 1988.
Well, the classic, yeah, absolutely. It's so funny that because again, it just reminds me of my kids. Like my kids, like I remember my kids saying, like, "Dad, did you have electricity when you were a kid?" I'm like, "Yeah, yes, I did. Thank you." So, thanks, guys.
I'm sure I'm gonna get that one day.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Something along those lines.
well. Again, another one for my kids was not knowing who Britney Spears was. I was like, "What? How? Yeah." I know. It was like, "Oh God, yeah." Okay, my back's just creaked a bit. Now I think I slipped the disc. So
Oh, there goes my knees.
yeah, so, you have got that to come, dude.
I've already got it.
They're gonna be like,
My
Dad.
knees are in agony as we speak.
They're gonna be like, Dad, who's Dua Lipa?
Well,
Well, sit down, child.
I don't quite know myself, to be honest.
Oh my god! Well, this podcast's taking a turn. Oh god damn!
Yeah.
So from Mega Drive, then where did you go from there?
I think the first console I ever owned was of my own was the PlayStation 1.
Nice.
It was a hand-me-down because my brother got the PS2. Lucky bastard. So I basically had the leftovers of what he had, and I had all the great games. Spyro, Crash Bandicoot, 1 and 3. I don't know where number 2 was at that time. I guess it just never existed in my brother's eyes. That or he lost it. WWF Attitude.
Ooh, Attitude.
Attitude, yes. And there was another game that I had as a kid. I can't remember. Bob the Builder.
Yeah.
And Rugrats. Rugrats. The Search for Reptar, I believe it was called.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great game. Great game. But the first game I ever played was Crash Bandicoot Warped, number 3. That was the game that started my love for video games, and then I went on to Spyro and all that, and yeah, it was a marvelous time,
Wow, man! Like this is quite a weird coincidence. Like, obviously, I think we both know there's a bit of an age gap between us. But like, my first PS1 game that I owned and played was Crash 3. Would you believe it or not?
Wow.
Because I had my PS1 late. I got into gaming late as well. So I had my PS1 in 99, 2000. So by that point we had like the platinum games. So yeah, my first 3 games that I got was Tekken 3, Crash 3, and Resident Evil 2. But because Crash 3 was the family friendly one of the 3, I was like, I'll boot that one up first.
Yeah.
So Crash 3 is a belter. It's such a good game.
It was and still is one of my all-time favorite Crash games. It just had so much to offer, and yeah, it was just a lot of fun. I just have a lot of good memories playing that. Also, I never remember ever completing it, which is really funny. I feel like I never once completed that game, but I had a lot of fun playing it. So, I mean,
Oh
yeah.
right. So, to this day, you've never been it.
I don't know. I can't remember. My memory's a bit fuzzy.
Oh man. Well, I mean that might have to be a bucket list thing for you to do, dude.
Might have
If you would you play the Insane Trilogy version?
Yeah, I would. I mean, I could play the OG version because I think the funny thing about the Insane Trilogy version is you nothing really changed. So the mechanics were still the same, the controls were still the same. The only thing that really changed was the graphics.
Yeah.
And then you quickly realized, oh my god, this is terrible. The controlling of the characters, was it this bad way back? Yes, it was. It was really that bad. No wonder we never completed those games because they were an absolute nightmare. I remember completing number 1 on the Insane Trilogy though. So
Okay. I mean, that is like the hardest as well. Like Crash 1 is ridiculous.
yeah, that took many hours of attempts and crying after, but I got there eventually after 7 controllers. Yeah, got there. Got there.
RIB controllers 1 to 6. So yeah, with Crash. I mean, that was always one thing I loved about the Insane Trilogy coming out was people playing Crash 1, because of course, why would you play Crash 2 and 3 first? You play Crash 1 first. You get the trilogy, and then people forgetting how hecking horribly hard the first game was, and going, "Oh God."
Yeah, yeah, and I was like, wow. I'm so glad I was not around for that era, and I just went straight to 3.
Yeah.
I probably never would have touched 3 if I played for number 1 first.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember it was out because I say owned Crash 3 first. Like, I did see Crash 1 first, but I didn't play it. I was at a friend's house watching it. Same Resident Evil 1 for that matter. I watched Resident Evil 1 at a friend's house, got absolutely pooped my pants, and then went, when I got my own PS1 of my own, I got Resident Evil 2. Thinking, oh, this game is going to be just as bad as the first one. In fact, and it was worse. So, yeah, good times.
I mean, unpopular opinion, but I think the first Crash game is harder than any Souls game ever existing in this universe. So, there we go.
Did you see like my attempt with the dance mat? I did that a few weeks ago. I got to level 3. Be proud of me, dude, please.
I couldn't. I couldn't. You're stronger than me.
I did. Well, you know, obviously, because you're a wrestler as well. Like, I went for wrestling training the day before and did a workout, and then I did the Crash Mat stream the day after. People were like, what was worse? Is that the Crash Mat? The Crash Mat was so much worse. I sweated so hard. It was ridiculous. So yeah, good times.
Crazy.
But speaking of wrestling, WWF that Attitude, dude, like, not many people talk about that game anymore. That's such a shame, because that was my first wrestling game was WWF Attitude.
I think that was my first wrestling game. Now, it wasn't amazing by a lot of senses. I mean, it does get forgotten about a lot, though. And yeah, it was one of those games that, I kind of, at that point, I'd just gotten into wrestling, and I was kind of going through like old VHS tapes of WrestleManias and stuff like that. So there were wrestlers in that game that I recognized, like Stone Cold Steve Austin, who was on the cover of the disc, and I believe on the cover of the game casing as well. But it was a fun game to play, infuriating at times, but still a fun game to play.
Yeah, no, people talk about nowadays. They talk about the SmackDown games and no WWF No Mercy of that era. But there was WWF Warzone.
Yep.
That was another one I really enjoyed, and WWF Attitude. They were my first ones, and people forget about those now. People talk about the SmackDown. They talk about No Mercy, or of course, the SmackDown versus Raw series and all that stuff, don't they? But like, there was some jank. Again, we're talking about jank. Some jank, but some lovable like content in there. There was really starting to. I feel like that was really when wrestling games were really starting to find the niche.
Yeah, for sure, and it had something to offer there, and something to really like work on, and I really liked that. And yeah, I mean, look where wrestling games have gone to now. I mean, they're just going into realism, and it's, there's still a lot for them to work on, but it's getting there.
Yeah, for sure. I mentioned some belters on the PS1 there, Spyro as well, of course. Okay, so they did the same thing happened then with your brother, with your family, in terms of, did you inherit the PS2 afterwards? Where did it go from PS1?
Kind of did inherit the PS1 after. No, sorry, the PS2. After the PS1. So from there, it kind of the same thing happened. The games that I used to play on that, I mean, it was more like Lara Croft. I used to play on the iToy a lot. For those that remember the iToy, you had the iToy party games.
Yeah.
I used to play Buzz a lot.
The quiz game?
The quiz game.
Yeah,
I loved Buzz growing up. And my brother would hate it. And I'd be like, do you want to play Buzz with me? And he's like, no. I lose all the time. I don't like it. It's bad. Like if I asked him now if he wanted to play Buzz, he'd 100% be like, oh, 100%, like,
yeah,
for sure. Because it's it's a classic. It's a classic game. But those are the type of games that I play. And again, wrestling games, SmackDown versus Raw, as you mentioned before, going into that new era. And I can't remember what else I ever played on the PS2. That era was a bit fuzzy for me. I do remember playing Spider-Man 2, I believe, on that one. That was fun.
Nice.
Just swinging around New York.
Yeah. Spider-Man. I mean, I remember Spider-Man 2 coming out, and apart from like the GTA games, but I think Spider-Man 2 might have been pre-GTA. I don't know. Was it pre or after GTA 3? But like, I remember seeing Spider-Man 2, just going through the city and going, I've never seen anything like this. I think maybe it didn't come out in that order, but in my head, and when I saw it, I'd never seen a game like Spider-Man 2 in terms of actually properly, fully exploring like a 3D city. It was like, oh my god, you're Spider-Man, you're going through the city, swinging your web, like, oh my god, this is like, games can't get better than this. These graphics are insane.
Oh, how we were wrong. You know, and that's another game franchise that you mentioned there. I think the only GTA game I ever played on the PS2 was San Andreas.
Yeah.
I never played Liberty City or episodes of Liberty City, or whatever it was. San Andreas was the game that I played growing up. I think I loved that game more than anything was because of the jetpack. Loved going around on that jetpack. Still have fond memories to this day.
Why aren't they? Why can't we get jetpacks like that in real life, man? Like, why aren't they a thing? Like, we were promised this.
That's the thing that I realise. It's sort of like I see a jetpack in the game. Oh, that's really cool. I want to fly a jetpack one day. To find out they don't exist.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? What?
Like, life's not fair, man.
The concept makes sense, but apparently it's just not possible because health and safety or something.
Yeah, pesky health and safety. God.
Damn.
we deserve jetpacks. Come on, Elon Musk.
Not water jetpacks. That's boring. I want flames. God damn it.
Yeah. I reckon you're right. I think genuinely you think you're right. Like, it wasn't for the fact that you had two hecking big flames by your back, you would be fine. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a shame. I think we can have them. I just don't think they're going to allow us to have it because we're not responsible.
Just wear anti-flammable clothing is fine.
Yeah, sort it out. Come on, billionaires. That's all right. This is feeling like a slightly unhinged episode. I'm all down for this. I'm all down for this.
Unhinged is my middle name, baby.
DrewKnightmare. Speaking of your name, like, how did you get that name? Then, if I may ask.
So, this is going back. Oh God, how old was I? I want to say I was like 15. My father was playing a pool league, and I just tagged along, and I had like some paper plates, and I was drawing some names on the back of these paper plates because in my head I was like, I'm gonna be a wrestler. I'm gonna wrestle. So what's my wrestling name gonna be? I don't know. Drew the Destroyer. No. Drew. And this was the second name I wrote up. Nightmare. But
really?
It didn't have a K. And I'm like, no, it doesn't quite fit. There's something missing. There is something missing. And that's when I put the K, and I was like, perfect. That's it. That's my wrestling name. And that was the origin of DrewKnightmare. It was originally going to be in this make-believe land of my head. I'm going to be a pro wrestler, and that's going to be my name. And turns out, never did become a pro wrestler. That's such a crying shame. But it turns out that was just my online personality. Which is not too far off from my IRL personality, to be fair. It just became my handle on PlayStation, on Steam, and ultimately Twitch.
Wow. I thought you had you attempted like a wrestling career, didn't you? Am I right in saying that?
I did.
Yeah.
Yes. I trained for about I want to say 3 years. And I had a lot of fun with it. I still kind of miss it to this day. And pro wrestling, as everyone should know is my love, my passion, my everything in between. And I always wanted to give it a go, and I did, and I thought I did quite well. I did all sorts of things, jumping from the top rope, jumping from the top rope, jumping from the top. I did a lot of jumping from the top rope. It got to a point where they literally had to pull me to one side and like, Drew, right? We get it, but you need to let other people have a go of going on the top rope. I'm just, but why?
There's 4.
I want to do the 5-star frog splash. Damn it! So I had to try and do other things that I really liked. But I did have a lot of fun. It was a shame that I had to move from the area, and I also gave myself what I believe was a concussion, but that was never diagnosed. But I'm pretty sure I had a concussion at one point, and that was not fun. So yeah. It was the career that never turned out to be. But one day I would like to do something in the future if the opportunity presented itself.
Yeah. Oh, hopefully, man. Hopefully. And you talk about the top rope. I've not gone top rope yet. In fact,
it's scary when you first start, but when you get a taste for it, you're like,
yeah.
I want some more.
Well, I was practicing a couple of weeks ago. I was practicing mid rope cross bodies. I can't do it. My coach was getting really peed off with me. I'm allowed to swear on my podcast. I was getting really pissed off with me.
Pissed off.
He was pissed. He was like, Johnny, come on. Everyone else is doing it. You can do it. I'm like, and I just can't. I was trying to explain to him, like, I can do a running cross body. Like, if it was really off, just in the mat, running against ropes, cross body, I can do it. But doing it from I can't do it. I just can't physically get my body to get.
Funny, like with me, I never really struggled with the cross bodies. But I can understand from the middle rope, because that can be kind of awkward because you've got another rope kind of obstructing you in a way.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I used to do all sorts: frog splash, elbow drop, cross body. I tried to do a blockbuster once. That didn't go so well. Not for me, but for the other person. Almost broke their neck. It's fine. I almost broke my own back trying to do a power bomb once on this really skinny dude, and I'm like, how did that happen? How did we manage that? But I protected him. I didn't protect myself all that much. But that's a story for another day. Probably why my back hurt so much.
This is the moment Drew realised.
Should really get an X-ray sorted.
This is not a podcast anymore. It's an intervention.
A self-report.
Oh man, but yeah. And we'll come to your podcast later on, of course, as well. So I can't wait to talk to you about that. But keeping the theme as wrestling though, and bringing it back into gaming, like if you had to choose like your favorite wrestling game or maybe games over the years, what would they be?
I would have to say SmackDown vs. Raw 2007 is up there for me.
Is that the one? Please tell me if I'm right. Is that the one with John Cena and Shawn Michaels on the cover?
I think that's the one with Triple H and Batista on the cover.
Okay.
And The Undertaker.
Okay.
I might be wrong, though. Shawn Michaels and John Cena... Well, maybe.
I can't remember now. Yeah.
I know 2009 was DX.
Yeah. Sorry.
But I can't remember. I'm pretty terrible with the covers for them. But the SmackDown vs. Raw games 2007 or 2006, I'd say, were my favorite from that era. I am a bit impartial to WWE 13. That was a game I really loved playing, going through the Attitude Era and those matches. When it comes to like the newer generation of games, 2K25 is a solid game for where it's at. It's got its issues, but it's a solid game for accuracy and stuff like that. SmackDown versus Raw has got more of that arcade feel, but if you want your realism, then I'd say the newer games for sure are up there.
Like the last one I played. That sounds sad now. Now that I look at what year we're on, was probably 2K14. I think that was one of CM Punk on the cover. I think, wasn't it? Or was that 12? I can't remember.
That was 13.
Oh, never mind. Okay, or maybe I played 13 then. I thought it was 14, but yeah, I've not played any of the new ones. Like, but I've been hearing like every year has been getting better. Finally, it really likes the refining, like what the new style is now, and it's really like every year has been an improvement from the previous year.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I need to play them. I need to play them. How was the Did you play the AEW game? Because again, that was supposed to be quite arcadey, I believe, wasn't it?
That was a crying disappointment of a game.
Oh.
It had so much potential, but it just didn't have any replayable value to it. The story mode was kind of lackluster. The only fun thing that it had outside of the story mode and the exhibition mode was the Stadium Stampede mode, which was kind of like a battle royale mode. But even then, that kind of died quickly. Not a lot of people played it after so long, and it's just become a dead game. And it's kind of disappointing. And I think the whole reason behind it is that people are so used to playing realistic games that I don't think people find much entertainment out of the arcade style anymore, like No Mercy, because they did try to go back to a No Mercy style. If they tried their hand at a realistic game, they might have had more success, but it just lacked in a lot of areas. There wasn't a lot of creative customization with characters. You had a good line of wrestlers in it, but it didn't have a lot of replayability, in my opinion.
That's a shame. Yeah,
it is.
So, what games are you playing right now, then, Drew? I don't know. You're taking a bit of a break from streaming, but when you are in the full flow of streaming, like, what's your ratio of playing games offline versus online?
So I play more games like on stream than I do outside of stream, because I think I've gotten to the point where I enjoy playing games more to an audience than I do in my own presence, which is kind of sad. I don't find much enjoyment in video games anymore, which outside of stream. I've tried to get into games a bit more with Horizon Zero Dawn, which I have been enjoying a little bit, but I've taken a little bit of a break. But on stream, like I said, Clear Obscure, which is fantastic. It is definitely going to be Game of the Year this year. I have no question about that. And if it doesn't win Game of the Year, there is something seriously wrong with Jeff Keighley and that entire team. Whoever's making choices up in LA needs a serious talking to if that game doesn't win, I swear. What else have I been playing? Star Wars Outlaws. I've been playing recently. Been having a little bit of fun with that. Obviously WWE is always up there. Balatro, that's been a fun game I've been playing a lot of this year. One of my personal favorites of this year as well is Balatro. Just something so simple that you can just kind of play and mindlessly continue playing and have so much replayability with it. Which is funny. I was the one to try and get Raven Alternative to play that game. I was like, so when are you going to play Balatro on stream, Raven? Raven, are you going to play Balatro? Come on, Raven. Balatro. You should play Balatro. I think you really like Balatro. And then everyone else started being like, but I was the instigator. I was the first one to be like, hey, you should play Balatro. If anyone tells you differently, they are wrong. But yeah, that's what I like to believe anyway. I like to believe that I got Raven into into Balatro.
Shout out to Raven Alternative as well, because she's going to be on this. She's going to be on this podcast in a few weeks, guys. So, yeah.
Hey, love Raven. Nothing but respect for Raven. Lovely, lovely person. Nothing but nice things to say about her. But yeah, Balatro is one of those gems of a game that I've really enjoyed playing this year.
It's so funny to hear you talk about Balatro and Clair Obscur, because I went to the Timeless convention in Liverpool a couple of weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago. Ooh. And there was this one particular area. It was like a VIP area. I think it was for the content creators, and there was like 3 or 4 screens, big ass wall size screens, right? And a further shout out to our lovely friend Deep Stack Dave, and he is obsessed with both those games as well. And I swear, throughout the whole evening, he was switching between playing, I'm not kidding, Clair Obscur on one of the screens, and then on one of the other screens was playing Balatro.
That's a person I need in my life.
Yeah.
I would be doing the same. Just sort of like, right, this boss is really getting to me. Balatro.
Yeah. I think that should be his bedroom.
This boss is really getting to me. Clair Obscur.
Yeah. Just 2 big tellies in your room. You just like switch.
A secret third one underneath. Right. Hollow Knight.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah. It's crazy. Like, video games this year have been strong. I'll say that. I don't know if Balatro was this year. I'm pretty sure Balatro.
I think it was, yeah. Or it blew up this year if it didn't come out this year.
It blew up this year at least. But like, there's been some strong games. Even Peak. That's another game that I got into this year, which is a lot of fun. Yeah, really like Peak.
Yeah.
It's a good game.
My wife Puncher Sue is going to be. I think she's going to be playing that at some point. Yeah, I think she's playing it with some of our mutuals. But yeah, she's just downloaded it, but I don't know when she's going to play it. But yeah,
nice. It's really funny. It is so funny, especially if you've got a group of people together. Belly of laughs, honestly. My favorite multiplayer that I played this year. The game technically came out last year, but the DLC multiplayer aspect came out this year, which is Buckshot Roulette. Okay.
So Buckshot Roulette came out last year. Indie horror, obviously, kind of like Russian roulette, isn't it? Basically, but the multiplayer came out this year, and I had a heckin' great time playing that this year. So taking turns between, like, do you shoot yourself, do you shoot your opponent type of thing with blanks and stuff like that. Oh, it was just insane. It was so much fun.
I don't think I've heard of that.
Ooh, Buckshot Roulette. Oh,
yeah.
Check it out. It's set in it's an indie horror. It's indie horror. It's just aesthetically indie horror. It's not a jump scare game at all. But it fits the aesthetic of it. But it's so you go into the underground basement of like this club. And the club music is proper like Blade music, type of thing, yeah? And you go into the underground, and obviously there's a lot of dodgy people, and you all basically play Russian roulette. And you've got different things going on. You can either shoot your opponent or shoot yourself. Is it a blank? Is it not? And there's other like things you can pick up as well. Like you can skip turns. You can like have like you've all got like a health bar, so you can like. Do you increase your health bar? All sorts of stuff. You can you all have shotguns, so you can store the shotgun off to have twice as much damage. It's honestly, it's so much fun. But the base game against AI came out last year, and it was pretty good. But the multiplayer came out this year, and it was something.
Sounds interesting. I'll have to put that down on my list.
Yeah, I'll definitely check that out. But yeah, Peak. I need to play that as well. I've not heard much. I've only heard really good things about it, but not enough. So,
definitely give it a go. I know that's pretty much all that Soulstrike plays these days. He's the Peak master. I don't understand it.
Oh, he's the master of many things, though, that man. So again, shout out to Soulstrike. So
love you, brother bear.
We love you, brother bear. So what's some of the hardest games you played? Like, we mentioned like Crash 1. It could be that. Who knows? But yeah, what are some of the hardest games you played?
Demon Souls.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Demon Souls, without a doubt. I hate that game, but I also love it. So I'm talking about the remaster now on the PS5. It was the first game I ever played on the PlayStation 5 when that came out, because it was the first game I was able to get my hands on. And I was like, I'm enjoying this. And I kept dying and I kept dying. I was like, it's what you get with a Demon Souls game, right? And it was my first introduction to a Souls-like game.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So if you're going to get an introduction, at least go with the classic, just the remastered version. So I was like, I'm enjoying it. You know, I get past a certain amount. But what they don't tell you is when you die a certain amount of times, it gets harder. I'm like, what the? Whose silly idea was this? The game is already hard enough. You've just made it 10 times harder for punishment. How do I get... And I have no idea how to get out of it. There was no way of getting out of it. And I was ripping my hair out at one point. I was like, I got so far, and now it's just impossible to play this game. It's impossible. And it's the same with any Souls-like game. I've never completed one in my life. I would love to, but I don't think that's ever going to happen. I mean, I've tried playing Elden Ring, which people have told me, it's more forgiving than most Souls-like games. I am waiting for the day for that moment to become a reality, because no, it is not. They are all the same in my eyes. Just a massive headache.
iPhone.
I'm just so glad to have got that off my chest. To any Souls-like game players and lovers, I did not mean to cause any offense, but at the same time, you are sick in the head if you love those games. But at the same time, maybe I'm a little bit sick in the head because I keep going back to them. And I'm just sort of like...
Yeah, I was kind of the same. Like I love I love the aesthetic of Bloodborne. Like I love like the gothic style. And I'm like, oh yeah, I've got to play one of them. I've got to play Bloodborne, and I played Bloodborne, and I had the same issue. Like, what the hell is this? This is horrible. I can't do this. This is like I'm so bad at this game. And I put it away. So in fact, I think I sold my copy. I think actually, now that I think about it,
it's locked in a cupboard somewhere. Just wrapped in duct tape, so it can never escape.
Yeah, I think it might be in my attic, and then my grandkids will come out and dust it off and go, Dad, what's this fossil? So
it's kind of like the Drop Dead Fred approach. You just wrap it up in a jack in a box with duct tape, and then it will never be opened, and you'll be free of that man forever.
I think
one day you forget about it and be like, oh, what's this? And
you
unleash the demon that is Bloodborne, and you're like, no, what have I done?
I mean,
my children.
Imagine one of those creatures in Bloodborne coming out instead of Rick Mayall. That would be like, oh god.
I'd love that. I wish my imaginary friend was Rick Mayall.
Oh, me too.
Life would be so much happier.
I think we're around 90 episodes deep into this podcast, and I think if we ever did have a glossary of all the things we talked about in every single episode, I think this is the only one we talked about Drop Dead Fred on it. So enjoy that little weird fact.
Fantastic.
That's
Drop
yours.
Dead Fred is like literally one of my all-time favorite movies.
It's S tier.
I watched it with people. Well, I'm gonna name drop here. I watched it with Courtenay one time, yes. And he had never seen it before. And and when you go back and watch it, you kind of realize maybe I shouldn't have watched this as a kid. Yeah. And I kept telling him it's my childhood favorite movie. It's my favorite movie from childhood. And there were a lot of times where he goes, "This was your favorite movie from childhood," and I'm like, and I'm just there trying not to laugh, and I'm like, yeah,
yeah,
just like. Psst. Cobwebs. And I use that quote to this day.
Cobwebs, yeah. I didn't know for years what cobwebs meant. Like, genuinely, I thought it was cobwebs. Genuinely, as I watched it as a child as well. I was like, oh, okay, she's got some cobwebs up. Okay, cool. That shows you how innocent I was as a child.
But we soon later find out they just grey and you can take that out if you want.
Yeah, you're fine. No, it's not staying in. That's on you.
God damn it, no!
That's staying in. Cancel DrewKnightmare. You said cobwebs and pubes. Well, he didn't finish the word off. Now I'm cancelling myself now because I said the word.
This was my plan all along.
No, cancelled on my own podcast. Oh my god. So backtracking.
Yes, backtracking. Thank you.
Oh god. So if you were stuck on a remote island, and you can only bring 3 games with you on Star Island, and they can be anything. You can play them online. You can like DLC, mod it, whatever. But you can only bring 3 games with you. What would they be, and why?
Beyond Good and Evil.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Another one of my all-time favorites that I only found like later down the line through emulating it on the PC. What else? I'd say The Last of Us. I really loved The Last of Us. One of my favorite storytelling games for sure. And kind of going back to classics again, I'd say Little Big Planet.
Okay, yeah.
You know, if it still had all of its, online features and, those worlds, you could really have some fun with that. Because there's a lot of replayability in it, I loved Little Big Planet. It was such a good game. OG Little Big Planet and Little Big Planet 2.
Yeah, I was
Actually, I'd say Little Big Planet 2.
Yeah.
Out of any of them. Yeah.
Wow, I wasn't expecting that at all. No wrestling games? No?
No wrestling games, no, which is surprising, really. But you tend to get bored of them really quickly after a while.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to be stuck with something that I can replay. And I'm going to be on my own. I'd rather play wrestling games with people.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, right? We haven't specified the deets of this island. Like, you could have people on the island with you. I don't know. I never really thought too much into it. You'd think 90 episodes later, but yeah, everyone's island is different.
The remote island is just lost.
Yeah. So, I mean, you've got your wonderful belts behind you, of course. But have you got any other collectibles, like wrestling wise, video game wise? What are some of your favorites?
So I don't have many, if any, video game collectibles, to be honest. Which is honestly shocking. I'll be honest. I have lots of wrestling ones. You have this. Well, there was something there. I can't actually see it now. It was there, but I don't know. I have this shot glass, which is really funny because I don't drink at all. But this is it says Steve Weiser.
Oh,
Austin, brewed in Austin, Texas. This is just my tablet taking glass. I got a bunch of wrestling stuff here though, pop vinyls. I've got this as well. Oh no, there goes Roman Reigns. Sorry,
no.
I've also got this, massive horror fan.
Nice.
So I've got this Scream mask, which is funny actually. I had a conversation with someone from my community, and this has a very strong odor.
Okay.
And he brought it to my attention that the official masks have a scent of vanilla, and I was like, that's what it smells like.
Huh.
So it's an official mask if it has the scent of vanilla.
That's really interesting.
Yeah. So I've got an official ghost face mask from Funny Faces, I think it's called. But it's great. Oh no, not the glass. Oh, everything's going everywhere. But I also have this, which is a collectible I keep very near and dear to my heart. It is the album of Zack the Locust.
Yeah.
Little plug there if you haven't listened to Zack the Locust. Our late and great friend Celtic Hollow was their lead vocalist of this band. So a little shout out there for Zack the Locust.
Yeah.
And those boys of that band.
Definitely.
So that's always on my shelf.
Amazing. Oh bless. Yeah. Rest in peace, Celtic. We love you. Going back to the shot glass, when you were talking about the shot glass, and you went for a second, I thought you were going to say, "This is my straight edge shot glass." I was thinking that would be the most funny CM Punk related merch ever made. Oh yeah, straight edge.
Honestly, that would be hilarious.
We need to make
I
those.
I wouldn't put it past WWE to actually make those anyway and not think ahead of time what's going on there. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't think CM Punk would approve. Just a hunch. So
Probably has it in his contract. Do not make beer related items with my merch on it.
yeah,
My
yeah.
logos and all that.
Ice cream, on the other hand, go for it. Ice cream bars. Oh, okay, right. So let's talk about streaming, dude. So what were your like? What were some of the decisions then that made you think, okay, right, I'm going to give the streaming thing a go? Like, what were some of those like pathways that led towards that decision? And then what was the game you played, if you did play a game indeed, to hit go live on? What was the thought process? What was the story behind that?
Yeah, so I've been making content on the social medias for as long as I can remember. But when it came to streaming on Twitch and stuff like that, it happened the same way a lot of people started streaming, and that was during COVID, during lockdown. Because people were locked in their homes, they didn't know what to do, and they thought, you know what, I'm just gonna stream, and if people decide to come in, then great, you know. And that's what I did. I think the first game I ever played was Little Nightmares.
Nice.
I believe it was Little Nightmares. It was either Little Nightmares or Demon Souls, one of those. But like that whole experience was interesting for sure. I remember the first game I ever completed though on stream was Resident Evil Biohazard, which was the first Resident Evil game I ever completed ever. So I was very proud of that moment in my life. And yeah, I loved that game a lot. And that was when I was doing horror related stuff. And I still love horror. I still make horror a featured thing on the channel when I can. But yeah, I just I believe those were the games that really, you know, got me into streaming and wanting to keep doing it. And yeah, like I was just bored. I just had nothing to do, and you know, when you can find, you just play games in front of an audience, and that's when things kind of snowballed, really. Yeah.
Amazing. So yeah, I do remember that. I do remember some of the earlier streams with the horror content, and they were, yeah, it was a big like decision. I remember when you were like, okay, right, I'm gonna not obviously stop it, but you were like, I'm gonna focus on wrestling content. Like, when did that become a thought really? Before obviously you executed it.
So it was a conversation that I had with, again, name dropping here, Courtenayed. We kind of talked about you know, aspirations and stuff like that, where I want the channel to go, and the kind of stuff that I was passionate about. Don't get me wrong, I love horror games, but I feel like it's such an overdone niche at this point. No offense to people who do horror games and all that, because there are so many great horror game streamers out there, but it's such a wide pool of people doing it. It's kind of one of those things where you can kind of get lost in the fold. And wrestling is kind of a niche, and I just kind of wanted to give that a shot and give that a go, and it kind of worked out a little bit when it came to reaction streams or doing our universe, which is KVW, which you are a part of, which is who Gabbing About is a part of, and so many more. You know, Ray Eliza, Courtenayed, who are all part of the Court crew. And yeah, it was just a decision that I thought, you know, I'm gonna take a risk, and it is a risk that worked out in the end. And ultimately, I want to go further with it. You know, go out to events and, you know, eventually do like live interviews with wrestlers. That's something that I'd love to do and work towards. But yeah, but I also want to be able to play games that I enjoy as well, which is why I played like Death Stranding and Clair Obscur again. because there are games that I still want to experience with the community that I've got, and the community love to watch as well. Because I get it, not a lot of people are going to love professional wrestling, and that's fine. If people still enjoy the content that I make, then that's all I ask.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, it is quite niche, but it is somewhat growing in its niche, because we've got people like dare I say, like people like Santizar, and people like
Wheezy Bond.
Yes, and
all the respect to Wheezy, because she's killing it at the moment. There are very few wrestling streamers that I actually love, and that's not a diss to them. There's just certain content that I don't enjoy with theirs, and it's just a preferability thing. But Wheezy's content, she knows what she's doing. She's just doing reaction content, and her reactions are very wholesome and very honest. She doesn't do over-the-top reactions, which I don't really love myself. And whenever she reacts to content, it's genuine, and it just brings a smile to my face. So much respect to Wheezy. She's killing it on social media. She's killing it on Twitch. Santi, I mean, he is the OG when it comes to wrestling content. Massive respect for Santi. He is, he's up there as one of the biggest wrestling content creators on Twitch. He is up there. I think he is the most popular wrestling creators on Twitch, and up there on YouTube as well. You've also got Conman, who again isn't too bad on Twitch as well. He's a pretty good content creator, and those are people I would love to work with down the line. Maybe even get on a podcast at some point, because there are other avenues that I want to go down with all of that. Talking to content creators and how they've managed through their journeys as well, as creators, because it can be difficult sometimes. It can really be difficult, especially when you have so many eyes on you, and people depend on you for your opinions, which I think is stupid in my opinion. But everyone's entitled to their own opinions, and if you say something that someone doesn't like, they'll hound you for it. And I was like, oh, here we go.
Yeah. It's such an unusual niche, isn't it? Because I mean, I always kind of compare it, dare I say, to almost like sports punditry, but the difference is with wrestling is that it's predetermined, so it's got that element to it, isn't it? Where people are like, oh, look, it's all fake anyway, and it's just awkward, isn't it?
There are no fans worse than professional wrestling fans.
Yeah.
That is a statement that I will die on a hill on. They are the most fickle fan base in the world. I thought K-pop fans or Taylor Swift fans were bad. Hell no. Just stick around a wrestling community long enough and you'll know which one's worse. So Taylor Swift fans are a breeze compared. Jesus.
Oh god! So it was like all the K-pop fans, all the Taylor Swift fans, all the wrestling fans, all the Dark Souls fans. Guys, you're all on the DrewKnightmare list.
To be fair, much love to the K-pop fans.
Yeah.
I've been getting into K-pop a little bit more recently, which is weird.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I kind of vibe with it. It makes me happy. I don't know why.
That's what it's about, isn't it? So yeah, that's a fascinating niche that you've gone into, and you're killing it, dude. Like again, I remember when you made that decision, I was like, oh wow, it is quite bold. I knew like a handful of people doing it, and it's like it's because it's more niche. Either you sink or you swim with it, and I think you've really swum with it. You've done amazingly well with it.
It's funny as well, because when I started doing wrestling content, it's like people around me started doing wrestling related things, and this is probably just by coincidence, right? But like in my head, it was just sort of like, oh, have I started a trend? Is this what's happening? Johnny Beard's now a wrestler. Quackhammer Panda's doing wrestling content. What is going on? And I'm just sort of like I had like this false sense of, oh, am I a trendsetter? Oh, am I one of the cool kids? Oh, love it.
Oh man, yeah. No, I've always wanted to be a wrestler, but I just never had the courage to do it. And it was like, now I'm in my mid to late 30s. I was like, right, if I don't do it now, I won't do it. Right, that's
I
it.
got mad respect to anyone who gives it a go.
Yeah.
Someone who used to do it, like, I know how hard it can be, and how taxing it can be on the body.
Yeah.
It's not for everyone. I mean, most people quit after the first session.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
Well, in that first session,
when you know.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. You're right. Like that, my first session, like, oh god, my back was in bits. Like, it was horrible. But yeah, it's all used to the punishment a bit now, I think. So we'll see. but
you ease up to it after a while.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Once you get over the first couple of weeks, it's all good.
So, just keeping on the wrestling theme again, you have a podcast.
Yes, I do. That podcast is Interview with a Wrestler, which is a play on the movie title Interview with a Vampire.
I always wondered that, but I never said anything.
Well, yeah, so it was just a play. And the funny thing is, I've never even seen that movie. So it's
Same.
Just sort of like, I just kind of took it, and I was just sort of like, oh, that's fun. No one else is using it.
Yeah.
And the whole consensus of the podcast is bringing a voice to professional wrestlers around the world, as long as they speak English, because I mean, I can't speak any other language, and giving them a voice and a platform to share their journey into professional wrestling. I'm yet to start on season 2, but it is something that I want to work on. I did have hopes to bring a big name onto the podcast whilst they were still in WWE, but that never came to be, and that person was going to be Karrion Kross. We did have conversations.
Oh, nice.
We did have email back and forths. I do have receipts, so if anyone come after me, just, oh, he's just saying that for traction. I'm not. We did have conversations.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was an exciting moment of my life. But the WWE never gave me the go-ahead, which sucked. I did try reaching out again, but nothing came to be. But I understand that after being released, things can get a bit hectic and emails can start to fill up a little bit. So,
yeah.
Hopefully, one day in the future, that's something we can work out. But there are many people on the list that I would love to work with. Mark Andrews,
yes.
Welsh pro wrestler. Would love to get him on the podcast. It's stupid, really, because I saw him at the hockey one day, and I was like, I should have plugged it then. I was just like, oh, mate, I got this podcast. I want to get you on. How do I contact? And I should have said that, but instead I was like, Mandrews, it's nice to meet you. And then he walked off, and I'm like, you fucking idiot.
Oh.
You had your chance and you blew it.
Oh, man.
And yeah, but, you know, it's so easy for those things to kind of fall out of your head. But the first season we had some great guests, AJ Slambino and Goonie Dad, who are quite well known on TikTok. They met through they met through TikTok. AJ Slambino was a pro wrestler, even wrestled on TNA/NWA at the time, in a tag team called the Slambinos. And they actually worked as a tag team recently. When I was out in Rotterdam, they asked me, are you going to be in London anytime soon? I'm like, I'm going to be away at that point. I'm like, so I was kind of gutted, but they were my first ever guests. I had some friends come on, and some talent that I've never heard of, but got to learn their journey as well. Someone called Ernest Boggs, who is from Yorkshire, and was a lovely guy to speak with, and can see going far in the independent scene for sure. So someone to look out for. You might run into him at some point yourself. I'm pretty sure he's quite close to you, and I know he wants to work in Wales. So
okay.
If your promotion wants to book anyone, Ernest Boggs, the Yorkshire Wildcard.
Okay.
I'm plugging everyone apart from
Yeah.
myself here.
Well, in the end, this has been your story, though, doesn't it? You've been finishing the story, Code Road style. So no, it's been good. So what are your plans for the future then? So you mentioned coming back to streaming next month or so.
OnlyFans.
Finally, that's my chance.
Everyone's getting that Druto content. Future, man. I mean, there's always that big aspiration of getting back in the ring, right? I'd love to try and do that. But as I said before, I just want to take the content further than just Twitch. Going out to Comic-Cons, talking to wrestling fans on the street, at events, asking questions, and just being kind of like the Billy on the street kind of style content, but for wrestling, and bring some comedy and some fun into wrestling and the community, because it's always negative all the time, and I kind of want it to be lighthearted and fun, and I want people to come into streams as well to have fun, and that's why we have KVW, and that's why people enjoy it, because they can kind of escape a little bit whilst watching the content, because I'm Drew the announcer, I'm Drew the commentator, I'm Drew the booker, the worst GM to some 4D gaming. And it can be difficult running those shows because things happen that people don't like, and it's just sort of like, well, it is what it is, and you kind of just gonna have to grin and bear it a little bit, because sometimes people criticize it a little bit, and it does get to you. But it's AI versus AI. You can't control what happens with that.
No, reminds me of the. Sorry, you go.
No, I was just gonna say, but in terms of the future, it's the aspect of going further than Twitch is the goal. Would love to work with AEW or WWE in the future.
Yeah,
if that was ever a possibility, I'd love to do that. We'll just see where it goes.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. So you're mentioning about some people like having a critique about booking decisions and stuff like that, even though, like you said, some of it's like AI generated. Like I used to be, I don't think I've ever mentioned this to you before, but I used to be in an EFED in the 2000s. You used to write storylines and promos and stuff like that, and you used to go against your opponent and stuff like that, and you used to write them out. And the person who owned the blog or the website would be the booker, so he'd make decisions, and the people who would lose the storylines would be like, "Oh, what is absolutely? I wrote a better video essay than he did, or whatever." It's just yeah.
It's crazy. I used to do something like that. There was this online forum called Amino or something like that, and I used to do stuff like that on there, and I wasn't a booker. I was just sort of role playing a wrestler who was DrewKnightmare, by the way.
Of course.
it goes way back. But I always had this envision of this dark character, someone who just wanted, vengeance on people that he had no business having vengeance with, because they never double crossed him, but he just wanted vengeance for something. I don't know what it was. And yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
When I was in the Fed, my character was basically a rip-off of Kane, called Flesh. His name was Flesh.
Flesh.
Yeah, just Flesh.
Can't argue with that one.
No, best name of all time. Yeah. So, I have a question for you, Drew, from a previous guest of the podcast. Obviously, they didn't know it was going to be for you, but it's here and it's ready to be fired at you if you're ready to receive it.
I'm ready.
That question is, can I just say, just for context, normally the guests know in advance this question just before I go live and hit that record button, but Drew here does not know what's coming at him. So,
No.
So He chose not
A
to.
little bit now.
It's not that bad, don't worry. But he has no idea. So the question, for the first time hearing it, is: what's your most embarrassing stream moment?
Oh, what's my most embarrassing stream moment? Oh, there's a lot.
That's a live,
There's a
real
lot.
reaction. There, there's not act. That's not kayfabe, guys.
It's not. Oh, there's so many to pick out. I mean, I'm gonna go with what happened recently. And and we had a good laugh about this. Because everyone was like, excuse me? What? So I was playing Clear Obscure.
Okay, yeah.
So this happened quite recently. And you get these swords and it's dripping in gold. And I'm looking up at the gold, and for some stupid reason, the words that came out of my mouth were, "Oh, I'm getting a golden shower."
Oh no.
And in that moment, I instantly knew what I said.
Yeah.
Chat was like, "What was that, bro? Say that again, huh?" Everyone clipped it.
Oh yeah.
I think it was clipped 3 times. People were really racing to get #1 clip of the day, and it was so bad that this is where it got embarrassing. Is that we raided into Raven.
Yeah. Yeah.
Philly Muffin, the big blabbermouth that he is, said, "You never guess what Drew said on stream." Sent the link, and she watched it on the stream.
No.
So there was over 500 people watching me say that on a platform of Twitch, and I just had my hand in my face, and I'm like, God damn, God, what have I done to myself? What have I done to deserve this treatment?
Yeah.
I know I've said this on my own accord, but what have I done? I mean, I'm a good guy, you know. I like to think so, but yeah, I'd say that's one of the most embarrassing things, in my recent memory.
Yeah.
For sure. It's just that.
So is that the clip I'm going to use for this trailer? Do you think, or
You might need to now.
yeah, I was going to say I already told you the clip I chose, but I might have to change it.
I mean, you'll be able to find it.
I'm surprised I hadn't seen it, to be honest. So clearly didn't look hard enough.
If you haven't found it, I can send it to you.
Glutton for punishment.
If I must.
All right, you insist. All right, I got one final question for you, my bro. Which is to simply ask, what advice would you think about giving to anyone that's thinking of picking up streaming, but also in your case as well, like content creation and all the stuff you've done. What would be your parting words?
Well, I got the perfect answer. Don't. It's a nightmare. Don't do it. It is a trap. Basically, that's Drew speak for don't do it. I want all the money. No. It's fun at the end of the day. Don't go into it with this expectation that you're gonna get something out of it, because that's the wrong attitude to have. I go into it, as this is a hobby. I don't care if I get paid at the end of it. I don't care how many people are in the stream. I appreciate the support I get. Don't get me wrong, but I go there to have fun, and I don't go into it to, stress my head out, and treat it as a job, because the moment you treat it as a job, it becomes something you don't love, and the moment that happens, it becomes a dark place. So I just say, have fun with it. Be original, or try to be original. But also don't be afraid to, take inspiration as well. I've taken a lot of inspiration from people. Some people would like to say that I've stolen from them. No, I've just taken inspiration. I'm looking at you, Courtney. I've never stolen off of you. All right? Never once in my life have I stolen anything apart from that one thing I did steal from you. But I have never since then And the other thing that I stole from you, have I ever stolen from you? All right.
He's got a point.
I've stolen a lot from him. But it's imitation is also flattery in a lot of
Yeah.
ways, right? No, but I guess what I tried to say is, just do your best. You don't need anything fancy. I started out with a PlayStation 4, no fancy setup. I just went straight on the game. Bob's your uncle. Well, he's not my uncle. My uncle's Paul. No, it's not Paul. It's Peter. I forgot my uncle's own name. But essentially, don't feel like you need anything fancy. Don't feel like you need to fork out for a nice microphone or a nice camera or fancy lights. Just start out small. As long as you have a decent microphone quality, it doesn't need to be crisp like out the gate. But as long as you have a microphone, don't worry about the other things until you are financially able to. Do everything when you're ready. And if you've already got a community or some friends to help you get started, that is great. I mean, I got to affiliate pretty quickly with the help of friends. Just reach out and be like, hey, can you just lurk about for a couple of hours in a day? That'd really help me out a lot. And also, sorry to go on a long tangent.
No, you're fine.
Don't stream for like 5 hours off the bat. Do small streams, like every other day. Don't feel like you need to make it your everyday life. Take a break. Like, really, like, if I've ever learned anything from Hamilton the musical, take a break. If for anyone that understands that reference, we can be friends. But yeah, and that's something that I'm, taking into my streaming life now. I'll be taking breaks every summer and during the Christmas period to recharge batteries, because you need to know when to limit yourself and, again, recharge for your own sanity, because sometimes you can make this your life and that is not good for you. So that is basically my long tangent on getting into the streaming world.
Amazing, dude. No, it's all valid, fantastic advice. No, thank you for sharing it. I really appreciate it. I'm really happy we had this chat, dude. Like we were talking about before, it's kind of like a long time coming, but it's been. You've always been on my radar. I've always had lots of love and respect for you, dude. And
thank you very much. Likewise.
Yeah, no, it's we have a really good friendship, and I just love what you're doing. Like, I love how authentic you are. Like, that's one of the things you said. Be yourself, and it's so true. You are that. You are. Apart from the stealing from Courtenay. You are yourself. You are your own thing. You're doing things your way. No, oh, sorry, that was.
I've never stolen from Courtenay.
Who's? Yeah.
Apart from that time that I stole from Courtenay.
Yeah. But dude,
I don't know that man. I've never met him in my life.
Who's that guy?
We definitely did not, and we definitely did not snog in Rotterdam. Oh, what's that?
I've got the scoop.
I love how I've got this on hand, by the way.
I was going to say.
I love how I've just got that on hand.
I mean, I got a picture. I got a picture of me and my wife here, but you got a picture of you and your wife, so
Yeah.
Oh my god! Look at my Seamus beard. There you go. There's a scoop for you.
Oh, wow. There's a scoop. Also, look how uncomfortable I look here.
Yeah, well, I love the person judging you as well on the side.
Yeah. It's just sort of like. Oh, that was a funny time.
Drew, you've been insane. You've been amazing. Thank you so much. One more time, would you like to plug yourself and tell us where we can find you on social media?
Yes, I am DrewKnightmare. You can find me on Twitch /DrewKnightmare. You can find me on Twitter and Blue Sky and Instagram and TikTok, all under the same banner, which is DrewKnightmare. YouTube as well. I sometimes upload on there. I also have my podcast as well, Interview with a Wrestler, which is also on YouTube, Spotify, all the platforms that you can get a podcast on. So check that out, because there are 6 episodes available to listen to right now. But apart from that, also I kind of do want to plug my music content as well.
Yes,
That's
yes,
okay.
Of course.
Ellis Drew Music on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Want to try and put more music stuff out there, so go check it out. Also, I have a song called Empty Promises on Spotify, Ellis Drew. Go give it a listen if you
Do
like
it.
lo-fi tracks.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching / listening. I will see you on a future episode. But check out DrewKnightmare. Do it now. Go. Bye-bye.
Bye.